Hey class, big unit test coming up this week, so let's hit it. Let's do our studying. So first question, we've done this before, but let's just do a quick overview. Remember that the x-axis is going this way. That's the x-axis, and the y-axis is going like that. So we're going to go x before y, and so we have to start at the origin. Let me get a different color here. Start at the origin. Move over along the x-axis to where it lines up with point R, and then we move up. So I moved over 1, and I moved up 2. So that point R is 0.12. Now start the origin, move over 8, and up 5. So that number is 8, 5. Here's Think Central's explanation. Take a second to read through this and make sure you understand it. It's a fairly simple concept as long as you remember. Start at the origin, move along X first and Y. Go into the building before you go up. Question number 2, it's a PEMDAS question. We need to get an answer, or the expression is going to simplify, same as an answer, that equals 71. So PEMDAS, first you look at the parentheses for A. And because multiplication is first and greater importance, you do 6 times 13, which is going to be 78. And then you subtract 5, you get 73, and then you add 2 to get 75. So A does not work. Second one, you start here, 5 plus 2 is 7. Then you do multiplication second, 6 times 13 is 78. 78 minus 7 is 71, so it looks like B is the correct answer, but let's just check. Next one, we start here. We go 13 minus 5 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 6 times 10 is 60. That doesn't work. And 13 minus 5 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 2 is 50. That doesn't work, so the answer is B. And here is the explanation. Pause the video. Read through this, make sure you're understanding the order of operations and what operations you do first. Describe 13.8 minus 7 using words. Well, I would say the difference between 13 and 8/10 minus and 7, but Think Central is saying subtract. I think this is going to be subtract 7 from. For some reason, they always do that. 7 from 13. And 8/10. This is going to be tenths right here because it's 8/10. So I believe the answer is going to be subtract 7 from 13 and 8/10. Let's check out Think Central's response. And sure enough, subtract 7 from 13 and 8/10 is the answer there. Question 4, describe this using words. Well, it is 16 times the difference of 9 and 4. So, I'm going to say this is difference here. So I'm going to write difference. And there are more than one way to say these answers, so you really have to check what it says in the box. Multiply, I think it's multiply here. Multiply 16 and the difference of 9 and 4. Let's check out what Think Central wants us to do, so we're making sure we understand it. All right, so what they do is they say the difference of 9 and 4, so that's good, we got that. So 16 multiply the difference of 9 and 4. That's fine. I said multiply 16 by the difference, but they're saying 16 multiplied by the difference. All right, moving on to number 5. Select the expression that represents adding 8, so we're looking for a plus 8 somewhere, to the quotient of 13 divided by y. So that is 13 divided by y, and there's many ways to say that. So this is correct. 8, adding 8 to the quotient of 13 and y. This is not, B is not correct because that's multiplication, that's not quotient. C is multiplication, not quotient. D is 8, the sum of 13 and 8 divided by y, so that doesn't match. E is 13 divided by y, so that is the quotient, and add 8. So E also works here. And 13 divided by y plus 8, that one also works here. Because of order operations, you would do the division first. So it looks like we have 3 answers, A, E, and F. And so what are they saying here? They're saying, yep, those 3 answers we got there all work. And those are the 3 answers that would work for this question. Use order of operations to simplify each expression. So order of operations, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a little bit larger. I'm going to put parentheses because this always helps me identify what to do first. So multiplication is first in that one, division is first in that one, and parentheses is first in that one. So what is 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is 8, and 38 minus 8 is 30. So the first answer should be 30. Sorry, I'm writing with my finger here. What is the quotient of 12 and 3? That's 4. So 42 plus 4, that should be 46. And the difference of 12 and 5 is 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So that should be 2. Let's check out their answers. Okay, so we got 30, we got 46, and we got 2. So take a second to read through this explanation. It will help you build mastery. Back to the coordinate plane. The graph shows line segment AB. Enter the ordered pairs that represent the endpoint. So what is the ordered pair for A? Again, start at the origin, move over 4, so x is 4, and move up to y is 2. And for B, move over 10, so x is 10, and up to y is 2. To find the length of AB, we're going to subtract. Now, we're always going to want to subtract the lesser one. So the lesser one would be A. Subtract the x-coordinate of A from the x-coordinate of B, because we're measuring along the x-axis. So this is going to be 10 minus 4, I believe, and that's going to equal 6. So the length of AB should be 6 units. You can also just measure it by counting the squares to get that answer. All right, looking at this, we do see that the answer is 6. Take a second to read through this and make sure you understand. The tricky part here is the language of the discipline when you're subtracting A from B. So make sure you're doing the lower one from the greater one. True or false, to indicate the expression represents multiplying the sum of 3 and 5 by 9. So we're going to be multiplying by 9, and we're going to finding the sum of 3 and 5. So let's look at each of these and see if any of those match that. So this one is, the first one is not correct because you would do 5 times 9 first. You would not be multiplying the sum of 3 and 5 by 9. You would do 5 times 9 and add to 3, so that doesn't work. This one is correct here because it's the sum of 3 and 5 times 9. This one is the same thing, just in reverse order, so that's correct. This is not correct because you're multiplying 5 times 9 first. And this is not correct because you'd multiply 9 times 3 first using PEMDAS. So there's 2 correct answers, it looks like, to this problem. So we got false, true, true, false, false, just like we said. Take a second, read this stuff. I know you don't want to take the time to read it, but it does build mastery, so take a second to read through the explanation. Question number 9. Drag and drop each expression in the order from least to greatest. So when we unpack this problem, make sure you're doing least first. All right, so it's going to take a while to figure this out. We're going to have to find the answers to each of these questions and put them in order. So we'll start with this first one. First you do parentheses, 19 minus 4 is 15. And then you have 7 plus 15 divided by 3/10. Well, the second thing you do is you do 15 divided by 3/10. And that's the same as, remember, 15 divided by 3/10 is a scoop, and move it up. So you have, it's the same as 3 into 150, so that's going to be 50. So we have 7 plus 50. So the answer should be 57. So somewhere over here, I'm going to write that answer here before I erase all my other stuff. The second problem, we're going to add in parentheses. We're going to do these parentheses first. 1 and 2/10 and 2 and 8/10 is 4. I can do that mentally. And we're going to multiply that by 2 divided by 2/10. Well, how many times? 2 minus 2/10. So that's going to be 1.8. So 1.8 is that. So we're going to multiply 4 by 1.8. And I can do that mentally by doing the place value section model. I say 4 over here, 1 over here, 0.8 here. This is 3.2. This is 4, so it's going to be 7.2. So I'm going to put that answer to the expression over there and erase my work. All right, so now it's looking like 7.2 is the least so far. Let's move to the next one here. That would be order of operations. We do division first. 32 divided by 4 is 8. And then we're going to do the, one second, we're going to do 2 times 4. 2 times 4 would be next. Multiplication is next in the order of op, so that's 8. And 8 minus 8 is 0. So 0 is looking like the lowest answer. I think I'll put that right there. And the final one is parentheses first. That's 3. Then we do division second. 75 divided by 3 is 25. And then we do 120 divided by 3 is 40. So 25 plus 40 is 65. So I'll put that right there. So looks like our order is 0, then 7 and 2/10, then 57, and then 65, because that is from least to greatest. Let's see what Think Central says. All right, did I get it right? Let's see. 65 zeros, 57, 7.2. So we are correct. Take a second to look at this. Make sure you understand the reason why. The most important thing probably is unpacking the problem, least to greatest, and using order of operations, slowing down, and using a whiteboard. Do not use mental math. All right, question number 10. What we're going to be doing here is using the plug it in strategy. Plug it in, plug it in. So there we go. So we're going to find, select one expression from and one value for the variable that makes the sentence true. Zeke got 53 when he correctly evaluated this expression. So what is going to give us 53? We're going to have to substitute, and we're going to have to do each one. Super fun. So we put in 4 for n right there. We get 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 plus 36, so that doesn't work. Then we plug in 11 for n. So 11 divided by 2, we can't do that because that's going to give us a decimal point. So 11 is out. Then we get 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 plus 36 is 39. That doesn't work. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 plus 36 is not 53. So none of the 8 will not work for any of the variables. So that's out. We try B. Plug in 4 right into B. So we got first you're going to do multiplication. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 9 is not 53, so that's out. 11 times 4 is 44. Plus 9 is 53. We found it. So we found the one that works. So if you plug in 11 for n and you do the order of operations, you end up with 53. So let's choose B here. I don't think we need to go any further because it just says choose one. There may be more than one answer, but we found one, so that's going to work here. Let's check out Think Central's thinking and explanation. So what they did here is evaluate A for 4, and then evaluate A for... All right, so looking at this, make sure you take some time to read through it. But yes, the strategy, you just have to go one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And it looks like we found the right one. If you tried the other ones, these ones right here, for example, and these ones right here, you would not get 53. So we found a good answer. Let's go with that. Question 11, it's a pattern. So we're going to chomp it up. Remember the chomp. Chomp, 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 chomp. So find the pattern. it's an add 5 rule, so we start at 5, it's going to go plus 5. So 5, 10, 15, 25, 20, 25, like that. And this one is an add 25, so it's 50, 75, 100, and 125. The term in the add 25 patterns are blank, blank, the corresponding term in the add 5 pattern. So then now they're asking us to compare the up and down. So comparing the 5 to the 25, it is a times 5 pattern. Comparing the 10 to the 50, it is a times 5. I'm sorry, that was times 5, not times 10. Times 5 pattern. So it is a times 5. So the patterns are multiplied by 5. The terms in the add 25 pattern are 5 times the corresponding terms in the add 5 pattern. And there you go. So the terms 25 pattern are 5 times as great as the pattern in the plus 5 pattern. So got that one right. Fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Just making sure you see 2 patterns, one going horizontally like that, and then one going vertically like that. Question 12, 2 graphs, 2 coordinate planes. Which one matches the table? So if you look at this, they both start at the origin. So they both have to start at the origin, and they do. 110, move over 1 and up. That one only goes up 5. That one goes up 10. So right away we see that this pattern, this graphing is not correct. Let's get rid of A. Let's circle B. So they got a 110, we got a 220, we got a 330, we got a 440, etc. To find the total change after 5 days, read the y coordinate of the point that has an x coordinate of what? So the y, for 5 days, read the y coordinate of the point that has an x coordinate of 5. So the y coordinate would be 50, I believe. Let's check it out. You could also just continue this pattern here until you get like 4 and 5 and 40 and 50. So you could continue the pattern to find it. And there you go. So it's showing that. So read the explanation, understand it, build mastery. Let's go. For each expression, choose yes or no to indicate the first step is in simplifying the expression is addition. So in order of operations, which is the first step is addition? Well, this one's not, because addition and subtraction are equal, and subtraction comes first. So subtraction will be first there. This one is not, because 3 times 5 would be first. This one is not. It is subtraction. You do parentheses first, but that's subtraction. This one is first because you do parentheses. So addition is the first, so yes on that one. This one, no, because that's division. That comes first. And this one, no. Let's see, hold on. Yes, this one, yes, because you got parentheses inside brackets. So this is a yes. So we have 2 yeses, 4 no's. And we got no, 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 yes. It looks like I cut off part of the answer here. So, but yes, it's 2 yeses, 4 no's. If Stephen's flying a kite, he lets out 15 feet of string each minute. Complete the table. So after 1 minute, it's going to be 15. 1 minute, 15. 2 minutes, another 15. 30. 3 minutes, another 15. 45. So which graph matches this? So we start at origin, 0, 0, yes, yes. 110, no. 115, yes. 230, yes. 345, yes. A is out, B is the correct answer. And there you go. They've drawn the table, they've extended the pattern, and they've graphed it appropriately. So take a second to read this, study this, and get an A+. Question 15, 2 faucets, a tub faucet and a sink faucet. Well, obviously, as time goes by, here's your time going across here, more water is lost from the tub than the sink, which makes sense because the tub is a bigger faucet. So more water flows out of the tub, that's tub, than out of the sink. The line for the tub faucet increases faster, or greater, that would be greater, than the line for the sink. The difference between the water amounts becomes greater every time. So you can see the difference here is greater as time goes by. So these are becoming greater and greater and greater. And here's our explanation. Look at the vertical distance between two lines. The distance increases every time. It's steeper. They use the word steeper, but I say greater. And that is your answer there. But make sure you read this, because on Think Central, their language is oftentimes different than ours. You need to understand the words that they're looking for. All right, we are almost done. 4 more questions to go. Match the computation of words to the correct expression. So this is going to be multiply the sum of 2 and 5 by 6. So sum is plus, so I need some sort of 2 and 5, and I'm going to multiply that by 6. So it's going to be something like that. This one here, add the product of 6 and 2 to 5. So we're going to have 5 plus the product of 6 and 2. So this is adding the product of 6 and 2 right here to 5. And the next one, multiply the sum of 5 and 6. So sum of 5 and 6 would be plus 5 plus 6. Multiply 2 by the sum of 5 and 6. So it's 2 times 5 plus 6. Like that one there. Should be something like that. Add 2 to the product of 5 and 6. So product is times. And we're going to add 2 to that product. So it's going to be something like that. This is messy. Let's check out Think Central's explanation. And there it is. You're going to have to spend a little bit of time reading this, making sure that the words match the numbers and the expression and the order of that expression. So be very slow and careful, but match each one of these to the language that matches the expression. All right, we go to question 17. Describe how to locate an ordered pair 10, 6. So first off, start at the origin, and then you move to the right. You're going to go to the right. How many units? 10 units. So 10 units to the right along the x-axis, and then move 6 units vertically up the y-axis. So that's going up the y-axis. From the origin, move 10 units to the right along the x-axis, then move 6 units up along the y-axis. Nailed it. Evaluate each expression for 10. So we're going to plug it in, then classify the results as equal to 6, 10, or 30. So all of these are going to be equal to 6, 10, or 30. We know that. Plug in for 10 for n. We do 50 divided by 10 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So the first answer is going to be 10. Second one, n is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Second answer is going to be 30. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Third answer is going to be 6. 4 times 10 is 40. Minus 5 is 30. D is going to be 30. 120 divided by 10 is 12. And 12 times 0.5 is 6, or 5/10. So you could say half of 12 is 6. So the fifth answer is going to be 6. And for the last one, if n is 10, then 10 divided by 1/2. Remember, that's the keep change flip. It's the same as 10 times 2, and that's 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. So the last answer is going to be 30. You're going to need to use a whiteboard on this. Slow down. Put parentheses to make sure you're doing the correct order of operations after you plug it in. I know a lot of you guys are going to want to use mental math. That means you're probably going to make 1 or 2 simple mistakes that you wouldn't make if you drew them out with a whiteboard. Remember, this is a test, not of speed, but of task precision and knowledge. And here's our explanation here. Pretty much nailed it. We got all the correct answers. They don't explain why, but they just plug it in. Take a second to read it. Go through this. It won't hurt you. And the final question, select the numbers that make the expression simplified to 52. So we're looking for something that gets to 52. Now, since I don't know what our number choices are, I do know order of operations. We would do this first. So we'd have 12 minus something first. We don't know. And then we'd multiply it by that. And then we'd subtract 60. I do know, so we have to end up with something inside these brackets that's going to equal to 8. So if that helps you, just look for a way to get 8 on that second part. And here is what Think Central says is the answer. So they're saying plug in 4 right here. If they give you that choice, you do that first. That would give you 3. And then 1 here. No, 4. That would give you 8. And then 1 times 8 is 8. So you would have 60 minus 8 is 52. And you got that done. Cool. Guess what? We are finished with our unit. What you need to do is you need to study. You need to finish the Nearpod. You need to do extra practice tests. So I did assign 1, but if you need another one, ask for another one. A few is great. A couple more is better. Practice, study. Your goal is to get an A+, or at least an A. You can miss a few, that's no problem. But you have to study, and we're pretending we're in middle school so you get grades. So no, you can do a retake, but it's not going to help you get an A if you get a bad score. So best to study first, get an A first, and be awesome. Good luck.